Welcome into Municipal Stadium, ladies and gentlemen, as we're just a couple of minutes away for the start of Game 2 of this two-game doubleheader between two of the top three teams in the CACC North. It's the Dominican University Chargers coming into this one to face your post-university Eagles. Good afternoon, everybody, and after a rather long Game 1 and a dominant Game 1 for Dominican University in which they won 10-3, in a full 9 innings of play. It's going to be the Eagles looking to bounce back in Game 2 here in what's as close to a must-win as you can get in order to keep home field advantage for Round 1 of the CACC tournament in just a couple of weeks. So the Eagles, they're going to send up their ace to the mound in this one. It's Joe Cristana ready. Eric Diaz is ready. And the first pitch of this game, just a bit high and upstairs. We are underway here in Waterbury. Thank you so much for joining us. Join alongside our entire student production crew. My name is Max Stapleton. And a hard hit line drive high and deep into left field. Dario Sosa going back at the track, and it one hops off the wall. Eric Diaz speeds into second base for a leadoff stand-up double. So 2 pitches into this game, and Eric Diaz, who really struggled in Game 1, went 0 for 5. With a couple of strikeouts, and the first of these two starts the second off way better. Leadoff double for him, and now it's Byron Arias stepping up to the plate. Before we get to Arias, let me give you the numbers on our starter today. 6'2", 190 pounds out of Carmel, New York, Joe Cristana. Arias squares around, pops up the bunt, and it goes out of play. Count goes to 0-1. Cristana making his 9th start of the season. He's a perfect 6-0. 4.23 ERA. Through 44 and 2/3 innings of work for Cristana this year, he's only given up 21 earned. That's 10th best in the conference. He's walked 10, struck out 44. The 0-1 offering into Arias, squaring around again. Bunts it straight down. It's going to be a fair ball. The throw to first in time. So the sacrifice bunt does work there. It was a really close play in terms of fair or foul, but just went right in front of home plate. So Eric Perez fields and fires down. One away, but the first run of the game only 90 feet away from scoring. And it's going to be up to Jaden Maya to try to bring him home. Maya going to make a case for Player of the Year come the end of the season in the CACC. And the first offering into him. Fouled off down the right field line. It's 0-1. Maya, this year, he's a .420 hitter, the 3rd best in the conference. An over 1,000 OPS, 10 doubles, 3 triples, and a round tripper for 38 RBIs. The 0-1 offering into him. Fouled off once again. He's just a touch late on the Cristana fastball, and it's quickly 0-2. Let's give you the lineup today for the visitors here in Game 2. It's the same exact lineup, same exact formation as Game 1. Eric Diaz leading off in center field. Arias, the 3rd baseman. Jaden Maya in right field, batting now 3rd. The 0-2 pitch well outside, 1-2. Kevin Hirsch had a tremendous Game 1. He's batting in the cleanup spot, the DH. Ian Labrador's in left field, batting 5th. Batting 6th, it's Peralta, the first baseman. Ty Gilligan's behind the plate, batting 7th. We'll have another foul ball here. A good battle between Maya and Cristana. David Knepper will bat 8th. He's the shortstop today. And, of course, rounding out the lineup, it's Ryan Bongiorno, the second baseman for Dominican University. Good battle here, the 1-2. High fly ball in the right field. This should be deep enough to score the first run of the game. Velasco fields. Tagging up from 3rd is Diaz. The throw! Not in time, but a much better throw than expected. Boy, that was a bullet from Isaiah Velasco, and he made it a bang-bang play at the plate, but it's a sacrifice fly nevertheless, and it's a 1-0 lead for Dominican. So the small ball working to perfection for the Chargers to start off game number 2, and they're already out to a 1-0 lead. But the base is empty and 2 men gone, and now Kevin Hirsch steps up to the plate, lines it into left field, and there's another base hit for Dominican. So 2 base hits early on in this first inning, and for Kevin Hirsch, what a day he is having. Between games 1 and 2, he is now 5 for 6. Just unbelievable stuff, his 3rd single. And we move things quickly down the line. It's Ian Labrador. Yeah, that's what I remember About Joe Cristiano from last week in his start against Bloomfield, he worked outrageously quick and seems to do so today. First pitch, in there at the top of the zone for strike one. Labrador entered today with a .326 batting average, as well as a .412 on base percentage. Takes the next pitch for a strike, and it's quickly 0-2 on him. He's got 6 doubles, 3 homers, and 25 RBIs on the season, 12 walks to 12 strikeouts for Labrador. The 0-2. Fastball off the outside corner makes it 1-2 now. And regarding Cristiano working quick, it can certainly be a weapon on the mound if you work fast enough. Cristiano likes to keep hitters on their toes, that's for sure. 1-2. Good slider. Just missed off the outside corner and a really tough take, but Labrador was able to see it the entire way. Runner on first, 2 men gone, and a run already home for Dominican here in the top of the first. High fly ball, straightaway center field. Demarius Rodriguez is under it, and he makes the catch for the final out of this first inning. But for the Chargers, they pick up 1 run on a couple of base hits, no errors, and 1 man left on the base paths. It's Dominican 1, and the Eagles coming up to bat. Stepping up to the mound for the Chargers today, it's the 6'3", 200-pound senior out of Charlottetown, Canada, and transferred over from SUNY Sullivan. It's Tanner McLean stepping up to the mound. Give you his numbers in just a quick moment, but stepping up to the plate, it's Demarius Rodriguez leading us off. Switch hitter batting from the right side, facing the southpaw in McLean, and the first pitch just misses down low. And we're underway here in the bottom of the first. Let's give you the lineup for the Eagles today. It's Rodriguez leading us off in center. Rene Vega, the second baseman, batting second. Velasco will bat third. He's in right field. In the cleanup spot, the shortstop Justin Rivera. Foul ball down the right field line. Jalen Kelly bats fifth. He's a designated hitter. Behind him, Michael Cardona at third base. Hayden Roberge, he's in the seventh spot. He's at first base. Eric Perez is batting in the 8 hole behind the plate, and rounding out the lineup in left field, it's Dario Sosa. Hard hit ground ball through the right side, and a good diving stop by the second baseman Bongiorno, but no chance at a throw over to first base. Good speed from Rodriguez, and that's going to go as an infield single for the first base hit of the day for the Eagles. And by the day, I mean the game. But Rene Vega steps up to the plate next for Post University. Before we get you the numbers on Vega, let's get you the numbers on McLean, only making his third start of the year. First of all, Vega squares around, gets it right back to McLean, doesn't even look at second base, so call it a sacrifice bunt for Vega. And meanwhile, Demarius Rodriguez moves over into second base. So hey, how about the first inning in this game. Dominican University, they get a leadoff double. They move the runner over with a sac bunt. Meanwhile, Post, they get a leadoff single. They move the runner over with a sac bunt. Now Isaiah Velasco is the next man standing up. So for McLean this year, it's his sixth start of the year. He's 3-2 with a 4.70 ERA through 38 and a third innings of work. Well, before that, high fly ball, left field, Labrador makes the catch. 2 gone. Can't even get through my numbers before we got some action in this game already. Through 38 and a third innings of work, he's only given up 20 earned. Pretty good numbers. 8 walks to 27 strikeouts. So really good command for the southpaw today for Dominican University. And, well, he hasn't given up a free pass yet. See if that can continue against Justin Rivera. Rivera playing shortstop today because of the tweak to Jesse Alfala a few days ago. And a first pitch breaking ball, backdoor breaking ball done to perfection. That time from McLean, and the count goes to 0-1. Boy, not an easy pitch to execute if you're on the mound, but that looked really good from him. Rivera, a .333 hitter entering today, gets the same pitch but grounds it over to the shortstop, Knepper. He fields, fires to first in time. That's the final out of the inning. So the Eagles, they get their leadoff man aboard via the base hit, but can't bring him home. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on board. It's 1-0 Dominican heading to the second. We move to the second here in Game 2. It's a 1-0 Dominican Chargers lead, and they're going to send up the 6, 7, and 8-hole hitters against the ace of the Eagles staff, Joe Christiana. Christiana worked a quick first inning, but still gave up a run, and it was the small ball getting it done for the Chargers. Meanwhile, this is a long fly ball deep into left field. Sosa's going back, and a one hops off the wall. Juan Peralta reaches second standing up, and on the first pitch of this inning, it's another leadoff double for the Chargers. How about Juan Peralta? Didn't even get to say his numbers, but he entered today on his 6-game on-base streak. And how about the dichotomy of baseball? He went 4 for 6 against Holy Family, and then went 0 for 5 in Game 1 today. Snapped his 6-game on-base streak, and just not a great game here in Game 2. Already off to a better start. First pitch double here in the second, and now Ty Gilligan steps up to the plate. By the way, for Peralta, that's double number 7 on the season. Squaring around, he got that bunt down. Oh my goodness, first baseman Roberge fields and fires to first. Nice job by Vega covering. And that's out number 1. I say oh my goodness because that was the definition of a protect me bunt. I mean, that baseball was gunning for his head based on where he squared down. He put the bat in front of his eyes, and somehow it found the barrel. Hey, nice bunt. Does the job. Ty Gilligan gets himself a sacrifice. Peralta moves over to third. So we've seen 3 half innings of play. We've seen 3 leadoff runners on via a base hit. There's a wild pitch, and that's going to be another run scored. Juan Peralta strolls 90 feet home. That's not the best way you would like to see the second run come home if you're Christiana on the mound. It's a 2-0 game in favor of Dominican, but hey, bases empty and one man gone. So how about the small ball here for the Chargers? In both their innings, they get their leadoff man on via the double. They move him over with a sac fly. In this inning, it's the wild pitch that brings him home, but in the first, well, it was the sac fly in the first. It was the sac bunt that moved him over. This time, Knepper flies out over into right field. And quickly, 2 gone. You want to talk about 2 quick workers. How about Joe Christiana and on the other side, Tanner McLean? You've already had 2 runs scored in this game, and I don't even think the first inning was over in Game 1 yet. Ryan Bongiorno, the 9-hole hitter, steps up to the plate next. First pitch just misses the strike zone. The count goes to 1-0. Hey, I don't want anyone to think I'm complaining. I personally love the pitcher's dual type mentality. Bongiorno, he's a .398 hitter this year. Quickly in a 2-0 count. A .972 OPS, 7 doubles, a triple, and 27 RBIs. Of course, those were the numbers entering Game 1. Takes strike 1, a little bit of a delayed call. Count goes to 0-1. Nobody on, 2 men gone, and a run already home in the inning for Dominican. The 2-1 offering. Misses low and away, make it 3-1 now. Christiana deals it. Finds the outside corner. That's a good-looking fastball. Just dots the outer edge. Hard pitch to do much with if you're Bongiorno, though. In Game 1, if I noticed anything, it was that he had an approach to the opposite field. And 3-2, he drives it right back up the middle. Shortstop Rivera fields the tough hop. The fire to first in time. Boy, tough play made look easy by Justin Rivera over at short, and it ends this top half of the second inning. 1 run on 1 base hit, no errors, and nobody left on the base pass. It's 2-0 Dominican as we move to the bottom of the second. We move to the bottom of the second here in Waterbury, and it's Tanner McLean back out on the mound, moving into his second inning of work. Worked a very efficient 4-batter first. Now he'll face off against the 5, 6, and 7-hole hitters for the Eagles here in this bottom of the second. Starting off with the DH, Jalen Kelly. And the first pitch into him, good-looking breaking ball finds the strike zone, and the count goes to 0-1. Kelly entered today with a .297 average, an .839 OPS, 7 doubles, 2 round trippers, and 27 RBIs. Swings away at a breaking ball, but just a tad out in front of it, and the count quickly goes to 0-2 on him. Kelly had a really good series last weekend here against Bloomfield. Went 1 for 4 in Game 1. Grad student out of Naugatuck, Connecticut. Lefty on righty, the 0-2. Fastball just misses the outside corner. Count goes to 1-2 now. Let's give you the defense before I forget. For Dominican today, from left to right in the outfield, it's Ian Labrador in left, Eric Diaz in center, and Jaden Maya patrolling the right field corner. The 1-2. Chopped foul down the third base line. We'll do it again. Byron Arias is at third base, David Knepper at short, Ryan Bongiorno, the second baseman, and Juan Peralta is at first. Ty Gilligan's behind the plate, battery mates with Tanner McLean out on the mound, out of Prince Edward Island, Canada, as we just learned in between innings here. Oh, good pitch on a 1-2 count. Fastball dotted at the knees for a called strike 3. Boy, first strikeout of the game for Tanner McLean. He gets Jalen Kelly to go down looking, and now Michael Cardona is the next batter up for the Eagles. Cardona, the sophomore out of Hamden, had a tremendous game 1 earlier today, in which we saw really some professional-looking at-bats out of him. First pitch popped up. Foul territory, down the first base line, ranging over and sliding, but not able to make the grab is Juan Peralta. Boy, almost another tremendous play from the Chargers' first baseman, but Peralta just not able to scoop it, and it's just strike 1. Cardona, he entered today with a .301 batting average, .683 OPS, and 6 doubles for 17 RBIs. Over in game 1, just was able to reach base all 4 times he came to the plate. Overall, went 3 for 3. Lines one foul down the right field line, quickly behind 0-2. So things you notice for Tanner McLean early on in his start, well, as advertised, hasn't given up a free pass yet, has 1 strikeout. In fact, has barely thrown a pitch out of the strike zone. Now the 0-2. Hard line drive into left center field. Eric Diaz charging over. He's not going to get there. It one hops and goes off his glove, heading into second, and going for due is Cardona. The throw gets cut off. Called a double for the Eagles and Michael Cardona, and they have a runner in scoring position with 1 man gone. Have a day. Michael Cardona, his 4th base hit of the day, his first one for extra bases. Now he moved things over to Hayden Roberge, trying to bring him home. Still anybody's game, 2-0 in favor of the Chargers here in the bottom of the second. It was the small ball getting it done for Dominican in the first couple of innings, so we'll see if Roberge has an answer here. Manning the first base position today, the grad student's batting .295 on the season. And watches a breaking ball find the outer half of the strike zone as it goes for 0-1. Game 1, Roberge got 1 base hit in 4 tries. Now the 0-1. Ooh, another breaking ball. That's a big bending looper out of the hands of Tanner McLean. Just stayed up and above the strike zone that time around. Evens it up at 1-1. You can see him going to it early and often, not afraid to throw it in 0-0 counts, even behind in the count. See what he goes to here, the 1-1. Hard ground ball back up the middle, fielded cleanly by Bongiorno. And he throws to first in time. 2 away here in the second, but a productive out for Roberge as Cardona moves up to third. That was a pretty hard hit. Good contact off the bat of Roberge as well, just nicely fielded by Bongiorno. It'll be up to Eric Perez with a runner on third and 2 men gone to try to bring him home. Perez, the man behind the plate, batting .246 entering the day. Takes ball 1 low and inside. It's a .246 average, 8 extra base hits, 9 walks, and 25 strikeouts for him before the day started. Finished 0 for 4 in game 1. It's a high fly ball, shallow right field. Ranging back is the second baseman Bongiorno, and he makes the catch for the final out here in the second. So the Eagles get the double from Cardona. He moves up to third, but they can't find a way to bring him home. Still 2-0 Dominican as we move to the third. Top of the third, top of the order. Stepping up to the plate for Dominican University. It's Eric Diaz, Byron Arias, and Jaden Maya. Boy, what a 1-2-3 punch that is for Dominican to kick off their lineup. Trying to expand on their 2-0 lead. The Eagles, they've had action on the base paths in every single base. They just haven't, in every single inning, they just haven't been able to bring any of them home. See if Cristiano can have his first scoreless inning of the day. It's a first pitch strike to Diaz, and the count goes to 0-1. Diaz, after going 0 for 5 in Game 1, well, he's already 1 for 1 with a double and a run scored. Hits it hard into left field this time around. Sosa on the run, but it goes foul. The count goes to 0-2. It's the result you want if you're Cristiano on the mound. Fastball on the inner half, and you more or less jammed Diaz. You got the barrel to it, but pushed into left field, and it's just hard to keep that fair. So Diaz back up at the plate. You know, he's listed as a right-hander on their roster, but batting from the left side here. The 0-2. That one misses upstairs. It goes to 1-2 now. It's the same case for Byron Arias, who's on deck. So I don't know if they're switch hitters or what the case is. But now the 1-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. First strikeout of the game for Cristiano. Pretty rare to be saying that in the third inning. Usually has great strikeout stuff. That time he got him on the high fastball. So one away here in the third. And now Byron Arias steps up to the plate. Arias, no official ABs so far today. Worked a sac bunt in his first plate appearance. Takes a strike and the count goes to 0-1. He entered today with a .283 batting average. An .811 OPS. Fouls it straight back, quickly behind 0-2. He's got 9 extra base hits on the season. 6 doubles, 2 triples, 1 round tripper. He's got 25 RBIs. Again, listed as a right-hander, but batting from the left side. The next pitch misses off the outside corner, and it goes to 1-2. Arias came into Game 1 today struggling, was 1 for his last 17, but had a really good Game 1, so safe to say he's broken out of that slump. In Game 1 today, he went 2 for 4 at the plate, 2 runs scored, a couple of singles, a walk, and picked up an RBI as well. Now the 2-2 into him. Ground ball softly hit to the right side. Vega charging on, firing to first. In time, 2 away. Nice play by Rene Vega. That's not an easy one, especially because Arias, he's known for having some speed. Just picked up his first caught stealing of the season earlier in Game 1, so Vega having to charge on, make the throw on the run. It's a nice play. Jaden Maya is the next man up. Also doesn't have an official at-bat today, but picked up an RBI on his sac fly back in the first. Quickly behind 0-1. Maya's the third best batting average in the conference at .420. He's got the highest OPS on the team, second most RBIs, and the list just goes on and on and on for Jaden Maya. The 0-2. Fastball misses upstairs, a ball and 2 strikes, and you can see some of the frustration from Joe Cristiano on the mound. Just a little bit upset with himself, wanted to bring that fastball a bit more down. Now from the windup, the 1-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3, so how's that for a bounce-back inning? Facing the toughest part of the lineup is Joe Cristiano. He works a 1-2-3 inning and picks up 2 strikeouts along the way. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Eagles looking to come back from their 2-0 deficit. the Eagles trailing 2-0 as we enter the bottom half of the third inning, and it's the 9-1-2 hole hitters stepping up to the plate for Post University. Dario Sosa will lead the home squad off, going up against Tanner McLean, who's off to a tremendous start through 2 innings of work in this one. First pitch into Sosa, fouled off, and the count goes to 0-1. Dario, the hometown kid out of Waterbury, entered today, batting .253 on the year with 5 doubles, a triple, and a homer for 14 ribbies. 0-1 is fouled away once again. The count quickly goes to 0-2 on him. In Game 1, Sosa struggled a little bit, went 0 for 4. He's now 0 for his last 10 at the plate, going back to the series at Goldley Beacom where he went 0 for 6. So looking to get himself out of a little bit of a slump is Sosa. Behind in the count 0-2, Castor sets up outside. The pitch. Line drive, but it just goes foul. Boy, good piece of hitting that time from Sosa just to stay alive. And it'll stay 0-2. Not an easy pitch to stay up with, especially with the southpaw and Tanner McLean using so many off-speed pitches in an 0-2 count. Went to the fastball, and it's a hard pitch to stay alive on. What does he go to here? Hard ground ball to the left side. Arias bobbles it, recovers. The throw to first. In time. Boy, not an easy play for Byron Arias. Went off of his chest, and Dario Sosa has a lot of speed. Absolutely sprinting down the first base line, but Arias made a bullet across the diamond, and that's a nicely done out number 1 here in the third. Move back to the top of the order into Marius Rodriguez, who fouls away the first pitch he sees, and the count goes to 0-1 on him. D-Rod, he's 1 for 1 so far today, and that's following up a really good game in Game 1 where he went 3 for 5. Breaking ball on the outside corner gets fouled off, and once again, it's 0-2 on an Eagles hitter. Tanner McLean, as I mentioned earlier, is doing a tremendous job of getting ahead of Eagles batters today. I don't know if he's been behind once tonight. He's only thrown 3 or 4 pitches out of the zone by my count. Now the 0-2. Chopped on the ground to the right side, fielded by Bongiorno. And he fires to first. 2 up and 2 down here in the third. It'll be up to Rene Vega to try to keep the inning alive for Post University. Vega, the switch hitter, he'll bat from the right side here. It's pretty much going to be between him and, on the other side, Eric Diaz for CACC Freshman of the Year, I believe at least. Both of them having tremendous seasons. First pitch into Vega, misses down low, and the count goes to 1-0. So far today, he doesn't have an official AB. He got himself a sac bunt back in the first. He's off to a .353 start to the season. 5 doubles, 22 ribbies. And it's a high fly ball, straightaway center field, ranging back the second baseman Bongiorno, and he makes the over-the-shoulder catch for the final out here in the third. A 1-2-3 inning for Tanner McLean out on the mound, and a 2-0 lead for Dominican heading into the fourth. We move to the fourth inning here in Waterbury. It's been a bit of a pitcher's duel so far through 3 innings of play. 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors for Dominican University. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for Post. And the first pitch into Kevin Hirsch here in the top of the 4th. Misses up and away. Count goes to 1-0. Boy, what a day Kevin Hirsch is having at the plate today. 4 for 5 in Game 1. He's 1 for 1 here in Game 2. Hit a single back in the first. He's now stuck in a 1-1 count here to lead off this frame. For Hirsch, this is just more of the same. He's hitting .333 in his last 7 games. Takes a pitch just off the outside corner there, and it goes to 2-1. Over that stretch of his last 7, he's gotten 7 RBIs, 2 doubles, 3 triples, and 2 home runs. Takes strike 2 on the outside corner. So what is that, 9 base hits? And of those 9 in the last week, 5 of them went for extra bases. Big power righty, 2-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Make it 3 strikeouts in the last 4 batters for Joe Christiana out on the mound. And it's a big out number 1 here in the 4th. Not to mention as well for Christiana. That's now 7 in a row retired ever since giving up that first run back in the 2nd. It's now going to be up to Ian Labrador. Stepping up to the plate. Labrador, he was 0 for 1, flew out in the first. And the first pitch he sees is in there for a strike. Fastball right down Broadway, and the count goes to 0-1. Good pitch, just a bit up and away. Evens the count, 1 apiece. Labrador entering today, only hitting .250 over his last 5 games or so. He skies one to straightaway center this time around. Getting under it, Demarius Rodriguez. And he comes down with it, 2 away. So 2 at-bats for Labrador, 2 flyouts to center field. It's going to be up to Juan Peralta to try to keep this inning alive for Dominican University. Peralta, he was the last base runner to reach for the Chargers. Led off the 2nd inning with a double. And it's a high drive deep into left center field this time around, but hangs up there long enough for Sosa, and he comes down with it. Another 1-2-3 inning for Joe Christiana out on the mound. And he's just off to a tremendous start. He's retired 9 in a row here for the Eagles as they trail 2-0 heading into the bottom of the 4th. Bottom of the 4th inning, and the heart of the order coming up to the plate for the Eagles. Looking to come back from their 2-0 deficit. Tanner McLean pitching a gem so far for Dominican. Facing a lefty in Isaiah Velasco only for the 2nd time tonight. First pitch in, spiked in the dirt, and the count goes to 1-0. Velasco, fly down the first pitch back in the first. The count goes to 1-0 on it. Entering today, he was the third best batting average on the team at 349 and above 1,000 OPS as he takes strike one at the knees. 15 doubles, 5 triples, 3 homers. By the way, those 15 doubles and 5 triples are both good for first in the conference. In game 1, he went 0 for 3 but picked up a sac fly. Takes strike 2 on the outside corner here, and the count's 1-2 on him. If you hear some noise, that's the post-university dugout, I believe, trying to cheer on Isaiah Velasco in the heart of the order. They feel like they're right in this game, and they should feel like they're right in this game. Next pitch misses upstairs. Good take that time from Velasco, and the count evens up at 2-2. You got your starter, really picked it back up after not even struggling too much in the first couple of innings, but giving up a couple of runs. It's been a very close game. The 2-2. Fouled off, and we'll do it again. It was 2 runs in each of the first 2 innings for Dominican University, both of which were products off of the small ball. Sacrifice bunt, sacrifice fly, a wild pitch as well. Nothing since then. The 2-2. Another foul ball from Velasco. Especially as a lefty facing a lefty, this is really impressive from Velasco. Next up will be pitch number 7 in this at-bat. It's not like the pitch count wasn't any kind of issues. Through 3 innings of work, McLean, he only tossed 29 pitches. That's actually borderline unheard of here in D2. So this is how you do it if you're Velasco. The 2-2. Taken off the outside corner. Stone cold take, and Velasco stares down McLean out on the mound. It's a full count now, 3-2. Boy, you got to love the confidence from Velasco at the plate. He knows the intensity of this battle. And now the payoff pitch. Swung on and driven high and deep into center field. It hangs up there. Diaz charging back, and he makes the backpedaling catch for out number 1 here in the 4th. Now, rounding first base there, Isaiah Velasco ran pretty hard in the first baseman, Juan Peralta, and Peralta's kind of chewing off the ear of Bob Auerbach over at first base, complaining a little bit, but hey, it's all a bit of sportsmanship. That was a good battle, and it ends up with McLean getting the better of Velasco, a hard-hit flyout. We move over to Justin Rivera. Rivera 0 for 1, grounded out back in the first. First pitch in. Fastball dots the outside corner, and the count goes to 0-1. Rivera entered today batting .333 on the season with 11 doubles and 2 round trippers. And he hits a line drive into straightaway center field. It's a base hit for Rivera. The 3rd of the game for the Eagles, and they have a runner on with 1 man gone here in the 4th. I really hope you guys can hear the bench the way I'm hearing the bench right now. I hope it's picking up on the mic because this post dugout is loud right now. Cheering on their team, trying to motivate them to get back in this game. We'll see if Jalen Kelly can continue the momentum. Struck out looking back in the 2nd inning. He's 0 for 1. From the windup, the first pitch in. Looked like a fastball finds the outside corner. Make it 0-1 on him. Kelly 1 for 4 performance in game 1. Grad student out of Seymour High School in Naugatuck, Connecticut. The 0-1. Hard ground ball. Oh, what a stop by the third baseman, Arias. He bobbles it, recovers the throw to first in time. Oh, what a nice play by the third baseman, Byron Arias. Dominican might have been able to turn 2, but that was a absolute fire, just a hard hit ground ball into third base. And man, I'm surprised Arias was able to get his glove on it. So now with 2 away, still that runner over on second base. It's Michael Cardona trying to continue the inning for the Eagles. Cardona with one of the 3 base hits already today for Post. Picked up a double back in the 2nd. First pitch into the right-hander is fouled off, and the count goes to 0-1. maybe the right man in the right spot for Post University. Cardona had a tremendous game one. He's been playing well here at home lately. Went 3 for 3 with 3 singles, a run scored, and a walk in game one. He's 4 for 4 today. The 0-1 is a breaking ball. A good take from the Eagles' third baseman. Count evens up here, a ball and a strike. This inning started with a good battle, but a flyout from Velasco. Rivera laced a single. Jalen Kelly moved him over, but it was a tremendous play by Arias to even prevent that from being a base hit. Now here we are. It's a 2-1 count now to Michael Cardona. Dugout starting the slow clap very early. McLean from the stretch, the 2-1. Misses down low, 3 balls and a strike. This feels like the inning if you're Post University, and maybe that's just because of the energy I'm hearing from the dugout, but feels like now's the time where you might have McLean on the back foot, trying to take advantage of it. The 3-1 offering. Breaking ball nowhere close, that's ball 4. First walk of the game. Given up by Tanner McLean. He doesn't give up a lot of walks, period, on the season. So, Eagles continue the inning here, drive up the pitch count a little bit, which was just in tremendous shape entering this fourth. Runners on first and second, still 2 men gone. Hayden Roberge is the next man up. 0 for 1 so far here in game 2. First pitch finds the strike zone, and the count moves to 0-1. Roberge just a touch under 300 on the season. Entering this game with a 5-game on-base streak, looking to move it to 6. The 0-1 in the dirt, 1-1 now. Roberge in his first season here with Post University played 5 seasons over at Norwich Uni. That's a Division III school and hails from Middlesex, Vermont. The 1-1. Fastball misses off the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike now. For Roberge, it's been a little bit of a tough streak entering game 1. 2 for his last 14. Now the 2-1. Misses upstairs. 3 balls and a strike now. You do have a base open to work with if you're Tanner McLean, but I'm sure you're not trying to give a free pass here to Roberge. The Eagles dugout trying to keep up that loud noise. 3 balls and a strike, 2 outs. The pitch. Foul ball down the right field line, and the count runs full. Both the runners will be on the move here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. So a base hit will almost certainly score 1 and likely score 2. So the runners go, and the 3-2. Fouled off. Boy, good job by Roberge just staying alive. That's a tough breaking ball to stay with. Diving in towards the back foot of the right-hander, and he was just able to get a piece of it. Good battle here between these two players. Pitch number 8, and it's the second payoff pitch. From the stretch, the 3-2. Another fly ball down the right field line, but it goes out of play, and we'll have pitch number 9 coming up next. We talked a little bit about the experience from Hayden Roberge. It's showing in a high-pressure at-bat like this. Best opportunity of the day for Post. For the 3rd time, the payoff pitch. Driven back up the middle, it's a base hit for Roberge. Rounding third and scoring, it will be Rivera. Heading into third base is Cardona. An RBI single for Hayden Roberge. What an at-bat for the veteran, and it's a 2-1 ball game. Boy, how about that at-bat for Hayden Roberge? 10 pitches, and he drives a single back up the middle to drive in a run. for Auberge. It's RBI number 26 on the season. It's a second base hit of the day going back to earlier today. And now we have a little bit of a mound visit here for Dominican, just trying to calm down Tanner McLean. And look, I'm no pitching expert or doctor or whatever you want to say, but to me it looked like he was just a bit rattled. I think the noise of the post dugout surprised everyone, including myself, but including McLean out on the mound, and lost some of his control, lost some of his command, got behind in the count a few times. And the Chuckers hitters, again, the team I used to work for, the Eagles hitters, are able to take advantage here in the fourth. So Eric Perez back up to the plate. He's 0 for 1 so far today, looking to continue this two-out rally that Post University has going on. It's a runner on first and third with 2 gone. Perez, he flew out to end the second inning. Lefty on righty matchup. And from the stretch, the 0-1. High fly ball deep into left center field. Going back is Labrador, looking up, and it's over his head, and a one hops off the wall. 1 run has already scored. They're sending another around third. He will score as well. A 2 RBI double for Eric Perez, and the Eagles take a 3-2 lead. Listen to the post dugout go crazy. Eric Perez, maybe the most unlikely of heroes for the Eagles, puts him on top for the first time today. It's now Dario Sosa stepping up to the plate next for Post University. And the first pitch way up and away. The count goes to 1-0. For Sosa, he's 0 for 1 today, looking to break out of a bit of a cold streak. And this post dugout is unrelenting with the noise. The 1-0 fouled straight back into the netting, and it goes to 1-1. Boy, I'd be rattled if I was on the mound right now. That's not saying much, but still. Runner on second, 2 gone. From the stretch, the 1-1. Fouled back, and it goes to 1-2. Sosa having a great season, a young hitter, looking to add on to some of the really, really good season numbers this year. Another 1-2 offering. Swing and a miss for strike 3. A huge strikeout for Tanner McLeod as he stops the bleeding and retires the side. But not before the Eagles take the lead. They get 3 runs on 3 base hits, no errors, and leave 1 man in scoring position. For the first time today, it's the Eagles out in front, 3-2. How about the way this game has turned on its head? We move to the 5th inning, and all of a sudden the Eagles are out in front to a 3-2 victory. And all of a sudden, Joe Cristiano, he's retired 9 in a row out on the mound. One of the highest powered offenses in Dominican University has been shut down, really innings 3 through 4. And we'll see if that can continue here in inning number 5. First pitch pop-up, shallow left field, charging on quickly Dario Sosa, and it's going to drop in fair territory. Going into second base with a double is Ty Gilligan. And boy, this guy cannot stop hitting. Even the pop-ups find grass for extra base hits. That's a leadoff double for Dominican, and they're right back in it. First base runner in 10 batters for the Chargers. There's really nothing that Dario Sosa could do about that. Just a nicely placed fly ball, found some grass, and now we move things over to the 8-hole hitter. It's David Knepper. Runner on second, nobody gone. Knepper 0 for 1 so far today. Squares around, corners are in. Pitch in there for a strike. And the count goes to 0-1. Boy, Knepper didn't agree with that. He pulled it back thinking it was outside. Both Roberge on first and Cardona even with the grass. Let's see if he squares around again. Does Knepper? He does. Pitch well outside this time. Snap throw to second base. Not in time. Boy, nice play by Eric Perez behind the plate. Good snap throw. Caught Ty Gilligan just leaning too far off the bag. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to hit that again. Let's see if Knepper squares around again. The 1-1. And he does. Reaches out for one that was way out of the strike zone. And it goes for a strike. Goes to 1-2. Well, I don't think he'll be squaring around with 2 strikes this time around, but you never know. 2-strike count, and at least Hayden Roberge at first base backs up. Cardona still playing pretty much even with the grass over at third. From the stretch, a big pitch for Cristiana, and a timeout is called instead. And they're calling a pitch clock violation. Boy, the first one we've seen all game long. That's going to go down as a ball. It's 2-2. Pitch clock's been pretty soft all throughout the day today. Haven't seen that called, and there's been numerous cases where you could have seen it called. And the 2-2 pitch, breaking ball, 3-2 now. Boy, that ends up being a really big pitch clock violation. You would have loved to have the extra waste pitch if you're Cristiana out on the mound. Now all of a sudden, you really don't want to walk David Knepper to leave up to Bongiorno, who has one of the best batting averages on the team. Line drive right to the third baseman. Cardona grabs it on the fly. And that's a loud out number 1 here in the 5th. And Michael Cardona doing it on both ends today. In the batter's box and at the hot corner. That was the definition of the hot corner right there. Saves a base hit, likely saves a run. And now it's Ryan Bongiorno. Once again, the corner's playing even with the grass, expecting a bunt. And he squares around, gets it down, but it goes foul behind home plate, and that's going to be strike 1. Bongiorno, he's 0 for 1 so far here in Game 2. Grounded out his first time around. Game 1, reached on 2 base hits and 5 at-bats. Also picked up an RBI. The 0-1 into him. Popped up, stays in the infield. Shortstop Rivera makes the catch. There's 2 away. And I don't even think he needed to make the catch technically. Infield fly rule was in effect. So we flip things back to the top of the order. Third time through here in Game 2. And Eric Diaz is back up to the plate. He's 1 for 2 so far. Led the game off with a double and scored the first run of the game for Dominican back in the first and then struck out in the third. Cristiana doing a nice job settling down after the leadoff double. And the first pitch into Diaz. Boy, beautiful frame job behind the plate by Perez. That's strike 1. Pitch looked like it might have been a couple of inches below the knees, but Perez started low and brought it back into the strike zone. Now the 0-1. Wave and a miss. High fastball. Not a whole lot you can do to catch up with it, and it's 0-2. In a great spot here if you're Cristiana. Breaking ball for strike 1, fastball for strike 2. What do you do here? The 0-2. Check swing, foul ball. Boy. Again, got to be somewhat frustrating if you're Cristiana on the mound. Feel like you just did your job very, very well, but somehow Diaz stays alive. So once again, from the stretch, the 0-2. Ooh, a good pitch, but a stone-cold take from Eric Diaz, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. In my opinion, just too close to take if you're Diaz at the plate, but hey, that's why he's there and I'm not. Now the 1-2. Fly ball, shallow left field, and it goes foul and out of play, so we'll do it again. Good battle between these two all-stars in the CACC. Sixth pitch of this at-bat coming up next. After it seemed like Cristiano was in the driver's seat here, Diaz, he's starting to battle back. Ooh, 1-2 pitch, wild, goes off the glove of the catcher, Perez, and moving up to third base on the wild pitch will be Gilligan. That makes the job just a little bit more pressure-packed for Cristiano, trying to preserve this one-run lead for the Eagles. It's the second wild pitch he's thrown so far today. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on third. We're in the top of the 5th. The pitch. Oh, another really good pitch, but just misses up and outside, and it's 3-2 now. Seventh pitch of this at-bat, and the payoff. Upstairs, that's ball 4. What an at-bat for Eric Diaz. Fell behind 0-2 and worked his way back. Find his way via the walk. That's the first base on balls today given up by Cristiano. So still 2 away, but runners on the corners. Byron Arias is the man stepping up to the plate. Arias, he's 0 for 1. Grounded out back in the third. Hit a sac bunt in the first. Runner goes, and the first pitch gets fouled off. Count goes to 0-1. It looked like Eric Diaz was going to gun for second base there, but then he kind of stopped. Diaz has got 23 stolen bases on the year, so you definitely got to watch out for him over on first. And Cristiano thinking the same thing. Arias in game 1 got himself 2 base hits, an RBI, and a walk. There he goes again. Actually, again, it was just a fake throw down to second base. You heard the whole post dugout, though, say he was going with me. So, hey, I wasn't the only one fooled. Pitch was upstairs, though, so the count evens up. A ball and a strike now to the 2-hole hitter for Dominican, trying to tie this game up for the Chargers. The 1-1. Low and away. Nice stop by Perez once again. It's 2 balls and a strike now. Remember, game 2 of this doubleheader, this is only a 7-inning ball game, so it makes this 5th inning just all the more important for both of these sides. Quick check on the runner on first to no avail. 23 for 29 entering today is Eric Diaz in terms of stolen bases. It's good for the 10th most in the conference and the most on this team. 2-1, delayed steal, throw down to second base. They got Diaz caught in a rundown. They got to keep an eye on the runner on third. And they're not going to tag Diaz, and the run comes home to score. Boy, what a mistake that was. Believe that's the shortstop, Justin Rivera, who just didn't throw the ball back to the first base side. They needed to get that out over at first base, and Diaz with a really smart play, a delayed steal, and that ties the game with a steal of home for Ty Gilligan. Actually, it doesn't even count as a delayed steal for Diaz because, well, he got chased back down to first. Now the 2-2. Little blooper into left center field, charging on Dario Sosa, and it lands right in front of him for another base hit. Boy, you got to be really frustrated if you're Cristiano out on the mound, giving up a run in that fashion, and then that little bloop single just finds some grass, and you could see the way he fielded that catch from his infield. You can just see the frustration from Cristiano. It's runners on first and second, still 2 gone. But we're going to have a visit here. It's Brian Looney, the pitching coach for Post, coming out there. What a fun game this has been so far between these two teams. Started off with Dominican scoring first Sacrifice fly from Jaden Maya in the top of the first, and they followed it up, scoring on a wild pitch in the top of the second, and they took a 2-0 lead. Then we move all the way to the bottom half of the fourth inning. It started with an RBI single with 2 gone from Hayden Roberts. Then Eric Perez cleared the bases with his RBI double. That put the Eagles up 3-2, but then once again here in the top of the fifth, a leadoff double. Then he got outs number 1 and 2, but a 2-out walk to Eric Diaz. Then that weird stolen base, not stolen base, allowed the Chargers to tie the game. Now here we are, Jaden Maya, one of the league's best hitters, up to the plate, 2 on and 2 out. First pitch finds the outside corner for strike 1. Maya, he's 0 for 1 so far today. Once again, he hit that sac fly for an RBI back in the first and struck out in the third. Next pitch well outside. Count goes to 1-1 now. Maya top 5 in the conference this year in batting average, in hits, in RBIs, and a lot of other stats. Chops this one foul, and it goes to 1-2. One run home already in the inning for Dominican University. Trying to retake the lead for the second time in this game. The 1-2. Breaking ball just misses a bit upstairs, evens the count up, 2-2. I learned in between innings that this is Dominican's first win in, I believe, the last 9 games against Post University. Post had a bit of a winning streak going on. 2-2 misses outside, and it goes to 3-2 now. Boy, another full count that Cristiano has had to deal with. Remember, he entered this inning having retired 9 in a row. But all of a sudden, he struggled with a bit of his command, especially with 2 outs. Hasn't been helped much by his field. Now both the runners go. The payoff pitch. High fly ball, shallow center field. Going to be a tough play for whoever can get there. Oh, and what a play by the second baseman, Rene Vega, as he makes the catch, diving over his shoulder, tumbling into Isaiah Velasco. And that's the final out here of this 5th inning. It keeps the game tied at 3 apiece, and that might be on SportsCenter Top 10. They get 1 run on 2 base hits, no errors in that outstanding play. Strands 2 runners on the base paths. It's all tied up at 3s, heading to the bottom of the 5th. We move to the bottom of the 5th inning in a tie ball game between 2 of the top 3 teams in the CACC North Division this year. What a play to close out the top half of the 5th inning from Rene Vega III. Just a beautiful diving catch over the shoulder, saved a run from scoring, and kept this game tied up at 3 apiece. It's Tanner McLean going back out there for his 5th inning of work, looking to bounce back from a 3-run, 3-hit inning only a frame ago. And it's the leadoff hitter, Demarius Rodriguez, in a 1-0 count. And it's a high line drive deep into left field. Going back, Ian Labrador. It's over his head, and one hops up against the wall. Strolling into second base easily with a leadoff double is Demarius Rodriguez, his second base hit of the game, and the Eagles have a man in scoring position with nobody gone. How about the offensive showing that Post University has put on? Since the fourth inning on, realistically, they only had 2 hits in this entire game up until that point. So it looks like Rodriguez had a bit of an equipment malfunction, had to run back to the dugout quickly. I thought we were having a pinch runner for a quick second, and then I thought that makes no sense because Demarius Rodriguez is fast. Anyway, Rene Vega up to the plate, runner on second, nobody gone. And the first pitch grounded through the left side of the infield. There's another base hit. Rodriguez going to hold up at third base. So call it runners at the corners. Still nobody gone for the Eagles. And Isaiah Velasco is the next batter up. Velasco. Some would call him due for a base hit here. He's 0 for 2 so far in this game. And when you combine this game and game 1, well, he's 0 for 5. Before we get to this highly anticipated matchup, we're going to have a visit here, and I believe this is the pitching coach, Jason Guadagnino. And I apologize if I absolutely butchered your last name, Jason, but Mr. Guadagnino onto the mound to have a word with his starter, trying to just calm down Tanner McLean. Runners on first and third, nobody gone. Back-to-back base hits for the Eagles to start off this 5th inning from the top of the lineup that all year long has been especially dangerous. I mean, the whole lineup has been a good offensive lineup, but these top 3, Demarius Rodriguez, Rene Vega, and Isaiah Velasco, have produced at a consistent rate throughout the season and looking to continue that here in the final 6 games. First pitch into Velasco, misses down low, and the count goes to 1-0. As aforementioned, he's 0 for 2 so far, but his last at-bat was a really good battle and kind of started this whole momentum swing for the Eagles. It was an 8-pitch fly out to center field in which he stared down McLean a few times. Now the 1-0, breaking ball finds the outside corner, and you can see the frustration from Velasco that time around. He didn't agree with the call. Count goes to 1-1. It's Vega on first and Rodriguez at third. A fly ball will give the Eagles the lead. And there it is, a high fly ball deep into right field. This should do it. Maya makes the catch. Tagging up from third is Rodriguez. The throw, not in time. The throw down to second base goes just over the head, but a nice backup by the shortstop David Knepper. It's a sacrifice fly for Isaiah Velasco, his second one of the day, and the Eagles are out in front 4-3. Good heads-up base running by Rene Vega over on first base as well. Once he saw the throw was coming into the plate, he immediately took off for second. And it puts another runner in scoring position with only 1 gone for the Eagles and Justin Rivera. Another lefty-on-righty matchup, the cleanup hitter for Post. First pitch, a fastball that gets spiked down low in the dirt, and the count goes to 1-0 on him. Well, Rivera, he went 0 for 3, did get hit by a pitch in game 1. He does have a base hit here in game 2. The 1-0. A little late on a fastball that time around, and it evens up the count at 1 apiece. Rivera, the senior out of Clifton, New Jersey. Actually a transfer from Bloomfield. Now the 1-1. Hard ground ball, but foul down the third base line and moves to a ball and 2 strikes now. Eagles, they've scored 4 runs in the past 2 frames against Tanner McLean. Trying to add on to that total and have a couple of outs to work with. The 1-2. High fly ball, straightaway center. Eric Diaz charging in, and he moves under it for out number 2 here in the 5th. It'll be up to Jalen Kelly to try to keep this inning alive for the Eagles. Big power designated hitter. Grad student out of Naugatuck, Connecticut. So far today he's 0 for 2, but Looks like it's actually going to be Tanner McLean calling for the mound visit here, which you don't see too often. Pitcher asking for his catcher to come out and have a word. Maybe they were just going over signs for a quick second, but either way, it's the runner on second base. That's Rene Vega, 2 men gone, and the Eagles with 1 run already home in the inning to take a 4-3 lead. Kelly 0 for 2. Was really robbed of a base hit. It was a beautiful play by Byron Arias. At that time, it kept the Chargers in the lead. Now the first pitch moves in and gets away from the catcher, Ty Gilligan, moving up to third base. And they're actually going to say that hit Jalen Kelly. So Rene Vegas thought the same thing that I did, that was just a pitch in the dirt and it was a wild pitch. But no, it got a piece of Kelly. So a hit by pitch. Now runners on first and second with 2 men gone. And not what you wanted to do on the mound if you're McLean because, well, Michael Cardona is stepping up to the plate, and he's had the best day out of all Eagles at the plate. Here in Game 2, he's 1 for 1. In Game 1, he went 3 for 3. First pitch into him this time around. Wanted to swing, but held it up, and it was a good take. It's ball 1 off the outside edge. Cardona, he hit a double back in the second, worked a walk, and came around to score in the fourth. McLean trying to keep the score where it's at. A big wave and a miss evens up the count, 1-1. On second base, it's Rene Vega. On first, it's Jalen Kelly with 2 gone. And from the stretch, the 1-1 offering. Chopped back up the middle. Fielded on the backhand by the second baseman Bongiorno, and he steps on the second base bag himself for the final out here in the 5th inning, but not before. The Eagles take the lead, 1 run on 2 base hits, no errors, and they leave 2 men stranded on the base paths. It's now a 4-3 Eagles lead. We're down to the final 6 outs of the game for Dominican University, and all of a sudden they're trailing 4-3 in this one. It's been a fun back-and-forth affair between the number 1 and the number 3 teams respectively in the CACC North. And still Joe Christiana heading back out there, working on Kevin Hirsch, moving into his 6th inning here in game number 2. Hirsch 1 for 2 so far today. They were finally able to get him to strike out. It's after going 4 for 5 in game 1. Takes ball 1 off the outside edge, and the count moves to 1-1 now. Christiana looking to bounce back from a 1-run, 2-hit inning only a frame ago. Did give up a free pass and didn't get a whole lot of help from his fielders, except for that tremendous play by Rene Vega to finish off the inning. Righty on righty matchup. Nobody on, nobody out. The 1-2. In the dirt. Good take that time by Hirsch. Tough slider. Count evens up here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Overall for Christiana, it looked like the start could have been a rough one at the beginning of this game. 2 runs in the first 2 innings, but he settled down really nicely. The 2-2 is a line drive into left field. Racing over there is Ben Major. He won't get there, and he plays it poorly. He overruns it, and it's going to run all the way to the wall. Kevin Hirsch is jogging into second base, and he's going to get there standing with a leadoff double. Boy, I think the third base coach for Dominican as well was waving him around second. He wanted him to go for 3 on that play, but Hirsch wasn't risking it. Instead, he picks up his 6th base hit of the day between these 2 games combined. He's now 2 for 3 here in Game 2. He's continuing to play tremendous baseball. And the latter week or so of this season is Kevin Hirsch. Now it's Ian Labrador stepping up to the plate. Corners are in, expecting the bunt. And there it is. Lays it down. It's a good bunt down the third base line. The pitcher picks it up. The throw down to first base in time. Boy, beautifully placed by Ian Labrador. Just right down the third base line. There was not even a chance at getting Kevin Hirsch over at third, so the sac bunt works to perfection. Now, the tying run only 90 feet away from scoring. The go-ahead run at the plate, and it's coming up in the form of Juan Peralta. Peralta 1 for 2 here in Game 2. And he fouls off the first pitch he sees. Count goes to 0-1. Peralta, he smacked a double back in the second inning, flew out to finish off a 1-2-3 fourth. There's only one of 3 hitters who didn't come up in the 5th. Next pitch is popped up, foul territory, but it goes out of play. Hayden Roberge runs out of room. Gave it a good chase, though. Quickly, Peralta behind in the count, 0-2. What do you go with here? If you're Christiana out on the mound, fastball seems to be losing some velo towards the latter half of this game. You went with the fastball, but yanked it outside, and count goes to a ball and 2 strikes now. Entire infield playing in for a play at the plate. The next pitch misses off the outside corner, and it goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Don't know what the speed is like for Kevin Hirsch over on third base. Doesn't have a whole lot of stolen base attempts on the year. 2-2, hard ground ball, back up the middle. The shortstop feels the play at the plate. In time! What a play by Justin Rivera to save the game-tying run. It was Kevin Hirsch going on contact from third base. The infield was playing in, and that's how you do it if you're post-university. Out number 2 here in the 6th. Never easy when you have a ground ball hit back up the middle. If it's not hit to first and third, you'll often see some teams just decide to go to first with it, but with the entire infield playing in on the grass, Rivera knew the entire way he was going to go home to the plate, and hey, worked out very well for the Eagles that time around. Peralta reaches on the fielder's choice, and it's Ty Gilligan in a 1-0 count. Quick check over on Peralta on first to no avail. Now the 1-0. Chopped foul. He was way out in front of that breaking ball, and it goes to 1-1 now. Gilligan, he's 1 for 1 so far. Hit a sac bunt in the second and then ripped a double in the 4th. Actually, in the 5th. Came around to score. Runner goes. The 1-1. Skied in the air, shallow left field. Ben Major on the run, going into foul territory, laying out, and he just can't get there. I mean, inches past the outstretched glove of Major, and it's just a long strike number 2. I don't even know if we ever mentioned it, but by the way, Ben Major came in as a pinch fielder for Dario Sosa in left field, if you haven't picked that up. So Gilligan resetting at the plate. It's a ball and 2 strikes, a runner on first with 2 men gone. Inning just got a whole lot easier for Cristiano on the mound, although he's not out of it yet. The 1-2. Runner goes again. Ground ball to the right side. Vega collects, bobbles it. The recovery and the throw. Now he throws the ball away. Goes all the way towards the dugout. It's a dead ball. And everyone's going to move up a base. Wow. So an error on Rene Vega, and that's the first error on either side here in Game 2. Looked like a routine 4-3 putout to get Cristiana out of the inning. Now the inning will continue instead, so it's runners on the corners here, 2 men gone. Called an E4 that allows him to reach. And now David Knepper will try to keep the inning alive. Knepper 0 for 2 with a pair of flyouts. First offering, a line drive back up the middle. It's a base hit for Knepper, and we have ourselves a tie game. Coming home to score is Juan Peralta. It's now 4-4. For David Knepper, his first base hit of this game, his first RBI of the day. The inning's not quite over yet. We go over to the 9-hole hitter. It's Ryan Bongiorno. For Knepper, it's RBI number 28 on the season. First pitch into Bongiorno, misses up in the way. He's also 0 for 2, a ground out and a pop out for him so far today. That run, of course, going to go unearned on Christiana's line with the error with 2 outs. And now he's in a 1-1 count here to Bongiorno. The Chargers' second baseman today, a senior out of Stanhope, New Jersey, transferred in from Sussex County Community College, looking to give Dominican the lead late in this game. Christiana looking to get through 6 innings today, trying to keep this game tied. The 1-1. Fastball just misses off the outside edge. 2 balls and a strike. Inning started with a leadoff double from Kevin Hirsch. Labrador moved him over with a sac bunt. Make it 3 balls and a strike. And then it was Peralta who hit a hard ground ball back up the middle, and Justin Rivera, the shortstop, went home with it for the second out of the inning. But the E4 later allowed the inning to continue, and Knepper drove him home. And that's ball 4. Boy, it looked like a pretty good pitch from up here, maybe just a bit above the strike zone. And now the bases are loaded all of a sudden as we go back to the top of the order and Eric Diaz. For Christiana out on the mound, that's only his second walk given up today. We're going to have another mound visit here. I believe this is Brian Looney once again, the pitching coach for the Eagles, just wanting to have a word with his starter, who it's been an up and down start for him here in this one. First 2 innings, it wasn't really much of a struggle. He was just getting bitten by the small ball bug, so to speak. Dominican doing a really good job of moving runners over. He really settled down nicely in the 3rd and the 4th innings. The 5th inning was probably his most strugglesome inning, and followed up here in the 6th. Home plate umpire E. Tyler Bullock comes into the mound visit, starting to break it up. Maybe this was one of those situations, and sometimes you'll see this, where a pitching coach comes out to the mound and just waits for the umpire to come and break up the meeting so that he can have a word with him. You never know, but you don't often see the conversations between those umpires and the coaches and the pitchers last that often unless it's something like that. So we move things back to the top of the order. It's the bases loaded and 2 men gone in a tie ball game here in the top half of the 6th. What a moment in Waterbury. Eric Diaz coming to the plate. He's 1 for 2 so far today. A double, a strikeout. He also reached on a walk. By the way, that walk, that was an 8-pitch battle between Christiana and Diaz, so not an easy out by any means. Up for freshman of the year this year in the conference. The first pitch misses to him off the outside corner. It's 1-0. It's Ty Gilligan over on 3rd, David Knepper on 2nd, and Ryan Bongiorno on 1st, the 7, 8, and 9-hole hitters. Next pitch fouled off down the left field line, make it 1-1. For Diaz this year, he leads the team in RBIs coming into this game with 40 of them. He's also top 10 in the conference. Doesn't have any so far today. The 1-1. Big wave and a miss. Good-looking breaking ball. And he got Diaz out in front of it. Might have caught a tip of it, but either way, it's 1-2. What a moment here. If Christiana can get out of this, you know that post dugout's going to be fired up. The 1-2. Upstairs, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dugout starting the slow clap. From the windup, the 2-2. High fly ball fairly deep to left field. Major on the run into foul territory, and it lands foul. So we'll do the 2-2 one more time at the very least. Diaz, he went 2 for 8 in his last series against Holy Family. Went 5 for 8 the series before against Caldwell. Post pitching has done a good job of limiting the damage here today, but he could all turn that around with one swing. The 2-2. Fouled back. We'll do it another time. It's the reigning CACC Rookie of the Week. It's his second time winning the award this year. Once again, another 2-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Look at how fired up Christiana is on the mound as this game remains tied. 1 run on 2 base hits, 1 error, and Christiana strands the bases loaded here in the 6th. It's all tied up at 4 apiece, and the Eagles coming to bat. We got a new pitcher stepping up to the mound for Dominican University here to start this bottom half of the 6th inning. It's the 6-foot even, 170-pound southpaw out of Yonkers, New York, A.J. Mitchell. Stepping up to the mound, they're going from one lefty to another, and he'll face off against the 7, 8, and 9-hole hitters for the Eagles in a tie 4-4 ball game. First pitch in to Hayden Roberge, misses low and inside, and the count goes to 1-0. Roberge, he's 1 for 2 today. Picked up an RBI single back in the 4th. Drove in the first run of the game for the Eagles. Next pitch in, is upstairs, and it goes to 2-0 now. For A.J. Mitchell out on the mound, it's a pretty good, and I mean a really good season for him. He's making his 8th appearance. He's off to a 2.31 ERA. 11 2/3 innings of work as Robert skies one, shallow center field. Eric Diaz charging on, and he makes the catch. 1 up and 1 down to begin Mitchell's night. It's Eric Perez, the next batter up for the Eagles. For A.J. Mitchell, 11 2/3 innings of work. He's only given up 3 earned runs, 8 walks to 10 strikeouts, and opponents are hitting just a touch over 200 at 205 against him this year. Eric Perez broke this game open with a double earlier, and he hits a hard line drive, but just a touch out in front of it. And he hits it foul as the count goes to 0-1. Remember, the Eagles were down 2-1 in the 4th inning, and it was Eric Perez who cleared the bases, drove in 2 with his double, and put the Eagles on top 3-2 at the time. Hits it hard again down the left field line. He just has to keep his foot down for maybe a millisecond longer. That ball's going to go a long way down the left field line, but instead it's 0-2. Mitchell on the mound in relief of Tanner McLean, who started this game. The 0-2. Misses down low. Good take that time by Perez at the plate, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Give you the final numbers on Tanner McLean in just a moment. He's not in line for any type of decision today. The 1-2. Hard ground ball. Oh, nice grab by the shortstop Knepper. The spinning throw to first in time. Boy, that is a beautiful play by the shortstop David Knepper to steal a base hit away from Eric Perez. Put a star next to that one. We've seen some tremendous fielding today from both sides. It's really that left side of the infield for Dominican University that's just having a field day out there. It's not an easy infield to play here in Municipal Stadium. The ball takes all kinds of weird hops, especially on the lips. This time it's a hard hit fly ball for Ben Major in his first at-bat of the day. High and deep to right field, but playable for Jaden Maya, and that will do it here in the 6th inning. So A.J. Mitchell comes in, and he works a 1-2-3 inning. We're still all tied up at 4s heading to the 7th. New pitcher stepping up to the mound for the Eagles, trying to keep this game at 4-4 here in the 7th. It's the 5'9", 165-pound right-hander out of Southington, Connecticut. It's C.J. Pierce, making his 16th appearance of the season as a true freshman. That's really quite the accomplishment. Has a 6.11 ERA, and the first pitch in at Brian Arias stopped on the ground, but it rolls actually just by Rene Vega and into right field for a base hit. So before we can get you really any of C.J. Pierce's numbers, Arias already picks up his second base hit of the day. And it's the leadoff man aboard for Dominican. Pierce, he's got a 6.11 ERA. He's 2-2 this season. He also has a team-leading 5 saves on the year. He's given up 12 over 17 2/3 innings of work. He's walked 12, struck out 21. It's Jaden Maya stepping up to the plate. Hitless so far today, 0 for 2, but does have a sac fly in his ledger. And again, as mentioned earlier, some would call him due for one. First pitch finds the strike zone, and the count goes to 0-1. Maya going to be in the voting this year for CACC Player of the Year, as well as Demarius Rodriguez, I believe. 0-1 pitch, misses off the outer edge, and it moves to a ball and a strike now. I can give you the final lines for both starters on either side today, but we'll do it in a moment. The 1-1. Fastball just misses off the outside corner. You could see that Eric Perez behind the plate wanted it. Didn't get the call, and it goes to 2 balls and a strike now. Final line for the Eagles starter, Joe Christiana. 6 innings today and gave up 3 earned runs. Now the 2-1. Misses down low, ball 3. Did it on 7 hits, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts for Christiana today. Again, neither pitcher in line for a decision. Boy, C.J. Pierce in danger of giving up 2 base runners to start off this 7th inning, the 3-1. Hard ground ball through the middle of the infield for a base hit. Heading into second and rounding second is Arias. He'll cruise into third standing up, and it's runners on the corners for Dominican here in the 7th. And now you could hear that Dominican bench getting loud and rowdy over down the first base line. Boy, both these teams think it means something to either of them. They want home field advantage in the first round of the CACC tournament. Post wants to defend its CACC tournament championship from last year and looking for every advantage they can get in that regard. The entire infield coming in here, which is a little bit surprising. Speaking that there's a runner on first, you can have the middle infield play double play depth. Actually, it looks like Rene Vega is at double play depth. Meanwhile, shortstop Justin Rivera is playing in. First pitch, breaking ball up and above the strike zone. And the count goes to 1-0. Batter at the plate is Kevin Hirsch. Not the man you want to see if you're Post University. He's 2 for 3 here in Game 2. He went 4 for 5 in Game 1. The 1-0. High fly ball. Fairly deep to right field. This should bring home a run. Making the catch, Isaiah Velasco. The throw home to the plate. It gets cut off. And that's a sac fly and a go-ahead RBI for Kevin Hirsch as Dominican now leads this one. It's 5-4. The small ball and the situational hitting today for Dominican has been on point. They've hit 2 sacrifice flies. They've hit 3 sacrifice bunts. Moving runners over, driving in runs, and hey, it's working out to perfection for them today, trying to sweep the doubleheader on the road. Now ahead in this one, 5-4, runner on first and 1 man gone. It's Ian Labrador, the man at the plate. Squares around, breaking ball goes way up and above the zone, over the head of Eric Perez, and the wild pitch will allow Jaden Maya to move up to second base, and yet again another runner in scoring position for Dominican. Labrador, well, before he gets to step back into the box, we're going to have a mound visit here between Eric Perez and C.J. Pierce. I think this is a good mound visit by Perez, trying to calm down the young reliever in a pretty tough spot. Can't say that Pierce is inexperienced. This is his 16th appearance of the season, but he's a true freshman. It's been somewhat of a struggle lately for C.J. Pierce. If you take a look at the last 3 appearances for him, combined, it's 2 innings of work and 5 earned runs. In the 9 innings prior to that, it was 11-plus innings of work and only 2 earned runs. So for Pierce, just looking to get back to his winning ways. 1-0 pitch, fouled off, and it goes to 1-1. Inning started off with a leadoff single from Arias. Maya backed it up with his single of his own, moved Arias to third, and the sac fly drove him home. Big wave and a miss for strike 2. High fastball up and above the strike zone. Got Labrador to chase it. It's a ball and 2 strikes now. This will be a huge out number 2 for C.J. Pierce if he could get it. From the stretch, the 1-2. Down low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Righty on righty matchup, a runner on second with 1 man gone. And the top of the 7th in a 1-run game, the 2-2. Line drive into left field. That's another base hit for the Chargers. They're going to hold the runner up at third. Kind of a risky hold, but called another single for Dominican, this time off the bat of Ian Labrador. It's runners on the corners with only 1 man gone. A bit surprised that the third base coach held Jaden Maya up at third, but not wanting to risk, I guess, the second out at the plate. Now it's Juan Peralta, the man due up for the Chargers. He's 1 for 3 so far today, a double, 2 runs scored. Now the first pitch from the stretch into him. Breaking ball. Never mind. Finds the strike zone, and the count goes to 0-1. Something I've noticed about the at-bats with Juan Peralta, he is never happy with the call. Not that one was great, but it's every at-bat. Runner goes. The 0-1 misses down low, and that's going to be catcher's indifference. Labrador moves up to second base. So put it 2 in scoring position. Only one man gone. And the entire infield moves in once again for the Eagles. The 1-1 offering. Popped up. Foul territory and out of play, and it moves to 1-2. Pierce looking for his first strikeout of the outing. The 1-2. Slow chopper to the third baseman. Looks towards home, but goes to first instead. And that's going to be another run scored. Out number 2 here in the 7th inning. But meanwhile, it's a 6-4 lead for Dominican. Called an RBI ground out for Juan Peralta. I think Cardona ultimately made the best play he could. It would have been bang, bang at the plate. And I'm not sure he would have gotten Jaden Maya, who was absolutely gunning for it on contact. So still a runner on third, but now 2 men gone. And it's going to be up to Ty Gilligan to try to bring him home. First pitch into him. Misses low and away. Make it 1-0. Gilligan 1 for 2. Doubled in the 5th. Hit a sac bunt in the 2nd and reached on an error in the 6th. Hits a high fly ball, but it goes foul and out of play. Make it 1-1 on him now. It's a leadoff single from Arias. Back-to-back singles from Arias and Maya, actually. Hirsch drove one of the runs home with a sac fly. Labrador hit the 3rd single of the inning, and then Peralta just drove home the 2nd run with that ground out. 1-1 is in the dirt. Nicely stopped behind the plate by Eric Perez. 2 balls and a strike. A run in each of the 1st, the 2nd, the 5th, the 6th, and now the 7th inning today for Dominican. 2-1, chopped right back up the middle. Nice play on the mound by C.J. Pierce. He throws to first in time, and that will end the inning for the Chargers. But they take a 2-run lead. They score 2 runs on 3 base hits, no errors, and leave one man stranded on the base pass. It's now down to the final 3 outs for the Eagles, and they got to make up a 2-run deficit. New pitcher trying to close out the game and get the save for the Dominican Chargers. It's the 5'10", 160-pound sophomore right-hander out of Cohoes, New York. It's Jedediah Trudeau, one of my favorite names in this entire CACC, stepping up to the mound. trying to get the final 3 outs of this ball game. We'll give you his numbers in just a moment, but it's the top of the order coming up here in the bottom of the 7th for Post, trailing by 2 runs, and Demarius Rodriguez swings the first pitch, fouls it straight back, and the count goes to 0-1. Trudeau this year, he leads the team with 2 saves, so he's their typical closer. 3-1 with a 6.20 ERA. In 24 2/3 innings of work this year, he's walked 16, struck out 18. He's quickly ahead to the Eagles' leadoff hitter, 0-2. Rodriguez, he's 2 for 3 so far today, a single, a double, and a run scored as well. Definitely the guy you want up to the plate in a big spot, but he has to protect, and the 0-2 is in the dirt. Make it a ball and 2 strikes now. This game started off with runs in the first and second inning for Dominican. Then Post took a 3-2 lead in the 4th. Dominican tied it up. Post took another lead. And then Dominican now up by 2, here 6-4 in the 7th. Two balls and 2 strikes to Demarius Rodriguez. Big pitch from Trudeau coming up. Here it is. Down low in the dirt, 3 balls and 2 strikes. What a battle here. Actually, that got a piece of Demarius Rodriguez. I stand corrected. So they're going to call that a hit by pitch. And you can hear some of the, well, actually, I don't know if you could hear it, but you can see some of the Dominican lineup having some words with a home plate umpire right now, E. Tyler Bullock. I think they believe that Rodriguez didn't move out of the way of that one, and E. Tyler Bullock is saying enough. I'm not putting up with it right now. Never a great look for a squad late in the game to be arguing with the umpire like that, as just tend not to get the calls going in your favor. Looks like timeout's going to be called here for whatever reason, and now the home plate umpire again, E. Tyler Bullock, is heading over to the post bench to grab something or say something, or this is quite confusing. I'm not quite sure what's going on. I've never really seen this before. We have a full stoppage of play right now, and the umpires are talking to the coaches on the post bench. Post is also just huddling up right now, having a meeting of their own over down the third baseline. It's almost like a timeout in basketball in the final few minutes of the game. Coach just wants to settle down their guys. Not allowed in baseball, but hey, things are different here in the CACC. So Demarius Rodriguez reaches on the hit by pitch. That's going to bring up Rene Vega III. Switch hitter batting from the left side, facing the righty for the first time here in Game 2. First pitch into him, fastball misses off the outside edge, and the count goes to 1-0. Vega, he's 1 for 2 today. Laid down a sack bunt in the first and ripped a single in the 5th. The 1-0. Off the outside edge, 2 balls, no strikes to the 2-hole hitter. Over on first base, it's Demarius Rodriguez who leads the team. He's 18 for 20 in stolen base attempts, so you got to figure he's got a green light to go at some point. Trying to manufacture runs. Down by 2 are the Eagles. 2-0 offering. Misses upstairs. It's 3-0 now. And listen to that Eagles bench. They are going wild over in the dugout, maybe a little bit behind the dugout as well, trying to just rattle Jedediah Trudeau. Now the 3-0 offering. In there for a strike at the knees, and it's 3-1. You can tell exactly what what Rene Vega thought that call was. Again, same type of thing. You want to sell the call, so to speak, if you're Vega at the plate, but when you throw your bat like that, it's ruled a strike. Umpires tend not to like it. We'll see how it goes. The 3-1. Right down West Broadway, and it's 3-2. That one was right down the middle. A huge pitch coming up. 3 balls, 2 strikes, a runner on first, nobody gone. And the Eagles down by 2 in the bottom of the 7th. See if Demarius Rodriguez gets the green light. He does not. And the pitch is down low. It's ball 4. So the walk that Rene Vega thought he had twice before, he finally gets it on the 3rd try. And you could tell he's emphatic about it. 2 on, nobody gone for the Eagles. And the 3-hole hitter, Isaiah Velasco, coming to the plate. Velasco hitless here in Game 2, hitless in Game 1, and you'd figure he's due for one. Base hit brings the Eagles to within one. He's the go-ahead, the game-winning run at the plate. First pitch into him. Fastball on the outside corner, and the count goes to 0-1. I'm laughing because that pitch looked like it was a strike. But I don't know. The whole team disagrees with me, and now it looks like... Wow, look at the head coach of the Eagles, Ray Skold, having a word with E. Tyler Bullock behind the plate. You think this game doesn't matter to him? Boy, what a scene here in Waterbury. I'd be surprised if Ray Skold wasn't tossed from this game. But hey, apparently not. He was screaming down the third baseline that pitch was 6 inches upstairs. To me, I kind of thought it was a strike, but hey. Two on, nobody gone, and now the 0-1 pitch. Off the outside edge, 1-1. Boy, I got a feel for E. Tyler Bullock. He's got everybody barking at him. It's Ray Skold down the third baseline. If it doesn't go the Eagles' way, it's the pitcher Jedediah Trudeau. If it doesn't go the Chargers' way. A ball and a strike from the stretch. The pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2 now on Isaiah Velasco. Lively fastball, upper half of the strike zone. And because of the call before, you don't blame Velasco for needing to swing at it. And the 1-2. Fouled off down the left field line. Boy, a rocket that was foul and out of play. Velasco stays alive. We'll do it again. The dugout starting an Olay chant. The 1-2. We'll do it one more time at the very least. What a battle here. The sixth pitch of the at-bat coming up next, and we're still only in a 1-2 count. Not a single person sitting in either one of the dugouts here. Another 1-2 offering. Upstairs, 2-2 now. I'm taking a closer look at the post dugout. Doesn't even look like there's a man in the dugout right now. They're all out of it. The 2-2. Hard line drive, foul ball down the right field line. Boy, that one was a good piece of hitting. He was just a touch out in front of a breaking ball. A really nice pitch from Trudeau, especially with a pitch to waste in a 2-2 count. Breaking ball low and below the zone, and that's going to be the result more times than not. Either that or a swing and the miss. 2 men on, 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. The Eagles down by 2. Ground ball through the left side of the infield for a base hit. They're going to hold everybody up one station, so it'll be the bases loaded and Justin Rivera coming up to the plate. Boy, what a battle between Isaiah Velasco and Jedediah Trudeau, and Velasco gets the winner of this one. First base hit of the inning for the Eagles. It was a hit by pitch and then a walk for Jedediah Trudeau. And Isaiah Velasco picks up his first base knock of either game today. Justin Rivera with the bases loaded, nobody gone, and the Eagles down by 2. In Game 2, he's 1 for 3 with a run scored. And the first pitch into him. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Boy, what a pitch by Jedediah Trudeau. 0-0 breaking ball finds the bottom part. As he followed up with the same thing here. The 0-1. Chopped slowly on the ground. Third baseman fields Arias. He goes to first, and that's out number 1. Job well done by Justin Rivera as the run comes home to score. It's now a 6-5 ball game and the first RBI of the day for Rivera. Now if you're the Eagles, all you need is a fly ball here from Jalen Kelly. Kelly so far today, he's 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch back in the 5th inning, and he was really robbed of a base hit by Brian Arias. That was in the 4th. First offering to him. High chopper back up the middle. This should tie the game. Second baseman Buongiorno fields, fires to first in time, but this game is tied. Another RBI ground out. Small ball does the job for the Eagles, and we're all knotted up at sixes. Meanwhile, the game-winning run is only 90 feet away at third base. Stepping up to the plate, trying to finish off this game for the Eagles, it's Michael Cardona. Eagles looking for their first or second walk-off win of the year. I believe it's their second or third, but meanwhile, we got the umpires coming in towards the Eagles dugout once again, and they're barking over at the Eagles dugout. I mean, they're getting in the face of some of the players. I've never seen this before in my life. This is genuinely absurd. Now, head coach comes down from the third base coach's box, Ray Skold, and he's barking over at both of the umpires as well. This is Post making so much noise that I think it's getting behind the umpires as well. I mean, I've never seen this before. There's nothing wrong with making noise and getting loud and getting barking over at the game, trying to rattle up some pitchers, especially in a tie game. And now we have the home plate umpire, E. Tyler Bullock, saying something to the pitcher as well. I mean, this is one of the craziest scenes I've seen here. Runner on third, two men gone. The batter at the plate is Michael Cardona, and he fouls off the first pitch he sees, make it 0-1. I mean, we have umpires barking back at players and coaches here, and then not ejecting coaches and players for barking at them. So, hey, I got to respect it. When you can walk the walk, you can talk the talk. Usually you don't see umpires put up with it, but today Tyler Bullock is putting up with it and giving it right back. The 0-1. Fouled back, and it goes to 0-2. Jedediah Trudeau just trying to keep this game alive for Dominican University, send this game to extra innings. Michael Cardona, who, by the way, has only not reached base one time in 7 plate appearances today. The 0-2 offering. Chopped foul, we'll do it again. Inning started off with a hit by pitch to Demarius Rodriguez. They walked Rene Vega, and then Isaiah Velasco loaded up the bases with a single of his own. Justin Rivera and Jalen Kelly hit back-to-back RBI groundouts to tie the game, and Michael Cardona is trying to win it. The 0-2. We'll do it again. What a win this would be for Post University. It keeps their hopes of having home field advantage in the first round of the CACC tournament alive. Again, should they come away with the victory. And from the stretch, Trudeau is ready. Another 0-2. High fly ball, straightaway right field, and this should end the inning. Ranging in, Jaden Maya, and he makes the catch for the final out here in the 7th. But we're going to extras, ladies and gentlemen. The Eagles scored 2 runs here in the 7th, and we're all knotted up at sixes. Wait. We move to extra innings here in Waterbury. What a game this has been between two of the top-seeded teams in the CACC. And we're all knotted up at 6 apiece heading into the 8th inning. A new pitcher stepping onto the mound for the Eagles. It's another freshman. It's the 5'9", 180-pound right-hander out of Beekman, New York, Logan Pulitano, in a huge spot. First pitch comes in to David Knepper, and it finds the outside corner. It's 0-1. Pulitano this year making his 16th appearance, a 2.57 ERA through 35 innings of work, and he's now ahead of the count 0-2. He's given up 10 earned in that span on only 14 walks and 24 strikeouts. So the freshman who went to Arlington High School having a really good first season in college baseball and looking to continue that here in maybe the biggest spot of the year for the Eagles. The 0-2. This is down low, make it a ball and 2 strikes now. Remember, it was Joe Cristiano who started this game for Post, went 6 innings of 3 earned runs. C.J. Pierce pitched the 7th, gave up 2 earned on 1 inning pitch, and now it's handed off to Pulitano. Next pitch misses outside, 2-2. For Pierce, it's 1 inning, 2 earned on 3 hits, no walks and no strikeouts for the Eagles reliever. Meanwhile, for A.J. Mitchell on the other end, 1 inning, and that's it. It was a perfect inning, but no walks, no strikeouts, no hits. Pitch misses down low, and the count from 0-2 to 3-2 now on David Knepper, who, by the way, he's 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Big first at-bat of extra innings here, the payoff. Grounded back up the middle. Pulitano gets out of the way of it, fielded by the shortstop, but Rivera couldn't field it with his bare hand, and that's going to go down as a base hit for Knepper. Leadoff single for the Chargers. There was really no chance for Rivera to get Knepper, who has some good speed hustling down the first base line. And with the way this game has gone, I think the whole infield should come in on this play. You got to assume that Ryan Bongiorno is going to square around a bunt here. By the way, through 7 innings of play, it was 6 runs on what is now 11 hits and 0 errors for the visitors. 6 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error for the Eagles. And wow, Bongiorno not squaring around on the first pitch. Takes strike 1. He's 0 for 1. He's 0 for 2 so far today. Reached on a walk. Bongiorno does have a great batting average. And check on the runner on first to no avail. So maybe in the 9-hole spot, you typically do see the 9-hole batter bunt, but Bongiorno, who came into Game 1 today batting .398, maybe you just don't want to take the bat out of his hands. The 0-1 offering, runner goes. Ground ball to the third baseman. He looks towards second but can only go to first. That's a really nice play by Michael Cardona to get out number 1 here in the 8th. He was playing halfway in on the grass. I mean, he was playing at bunt level depth, and that was a hard-hit ground ball from Bongiorno. Not easy to react to if you're Cardona at the hot corner, and there was no chance at turning 2 with the runner already going. So, call it a 5-3 ground out, but a runner in scoring position for Dominican. And go back to the top of the order and Eric Diaz. First offering into him. Oh, check swing foul ball for strike 1. Diaz 1 for 3 with a walk and a double as well as a run scored today. Hitting a touch over .360 entering today, the reigning CACC Rookie of the Week. The 0-1. Well, before that, quick check on the runner on second to no avail. Not a bad pickoff move by Pulitano on the mound. Almost fooled me. Now the 0-1. Just misses a bit low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Diaz at the plate. He had his 6-game hit streak and 21-game on-base streak snapped against Holy Family in their last series. So looking to restart both of those towards the end of this season. True freshman, likely going to play next year for the same squad in Dominican. Now ahead of the count, 2-1. Really tough take. Curveball just off the outside edge, and you could hear that Post dugout wanted the call. From the stretch, the 2-1. Breaking ball, line to left field. It's another base hit. They're going to send the runner around third. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's well offline. Called an RBI single for Eric Diaz as he moves up to second on the throw, and it's a 7-6 Dominican lead. Boy, nice piece of hitting by Eric Diaz. Got himself ahead of the count, 2 balls to his strike, and waited for a pitch that he could handle. Just lined it into left field, and really not a chance for Ben Major out and left to gun David Knepper going from second to home. First RBI of Game 2 for Eric Diaz, who was top 10 entering the day in that category in the conference. And now it's Byron Arias stepping up. Arias 2 for 3. 2 singles, a sac bunt, and a run scored. First pitch misses down low to him. All game long, the Eagles have found a way to come back from their various deficits, and they'll have to do it at least one more time if they want to stay alive. Now down a run here in the top of the 8th. 1-0 pitch misses down low. It's 2 balls to no strikes. For Pulitano on the mound, he did appear in the series earlier in the week against Goldley Beacom, got himself a save in 2/3 of an inning of work. Gave up a hit, but didn't give up any runs. Now 3-0, so already off to a bit more strugglesome of a start here in this one, but still some opportunities to make up for it. Actually taking a look at some of his numbers on this season, this is his first run allowed in 8 2/3 innings pitched. There's another strike just on the outside corner. The auto take, and it goes to 3-1. Righty on lefty matchup. The 3-1 offering. Fouled off down the third base line, and the count runs full, 3-2. It's a runner in scoring position with 1 man gone, and 1 run already home in the frame for the Chargers. Long day of baseball. Dominican looking for the sweep. Post looking to stay alive and keep the score where it's at. That's a high fly ball, fairly deep into right field. Backing up is Velasco, but he makes the catch. Tagging up from second to third is Eric Diaz. The throw comes into second base. So it ultimately goes as a fly out, but a productive one as Diaz moves from second to third. Now with 2 outs, another run only 90 feet away from scoring. It'll be up to Jaden Maya to try to bring him home. Maya picked up his first base hit in Game 2 in his last at-bat. Takes ball 1 upstairs. So far in this game, he's 1 for 3. Hit an RBI and a sac fly all the way back in the first inning. And he was also robbed of a base hit by Rene Vega, who made that tremendous over-the-shoulder, just diving out catch in shallow right field. That was against this man right here in Jaden Maya. Takes strike 1 on the outside corner, moves to 1-1. Now the 1-1 offering. Breaking ball, but it didn't break enough. And it goes to 2 balls and a strike now. Boy, taking a look at the scoreboard in this one, it's just been back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But only 1 lead in this game for Post, and it wasn't very long-lived. Dominican now back in front for the 3rd time in this game. Never easy to try to play catch-up, but hey, the Eagles, they've been able to do it all throughout the course of this one. Trying to prevent another run from coming home. The 2-2. Line drive into right field. It's a base hit for the Chargers, and another run does come home and score. Call it an RBI single for Jaden Maya, his 2nd RBI of this game, and it's now an 8-6 Chargers lead. Job doesn't get any easier if you're Logan Pulitano out on the mound. Runner on first and 2 men gone, but you're facing Kevin Hirsch, who has just been a tough out at the plate. No other way to put it. 2 base hits in this one. He's 2 for 3. It's a high fly ball, shallow right field. Second baseman Rene Vega, he looks to be under it, and he makes the catch. And there is the final out of the inning. But the Eagles have to make up a 2-run deficit as the Chargers score 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and leave one man stranded on the base paths. It's 8-6, and the Eagles coming up to the bat. Last chance for the Eagles, but hey, we've already said that one before in this game. As we move to the bottom half of the 8th inning, it's the 7, 8, and 9-hole hitters stepping up to the plate, working against Jedediah Trudeau now in his second inning of work. Trudeau, he had a 2-run lead only a frame ago, but he gave up a hit by pitch, a walk, and a single, as well as 2 RBI groundouts that eventually led to tying the game for the Eagles. Same exact situation. We'll see if Trudeau can either fix it or if the Eagles can repeat history. First pitch into Hayden Roberge. Finds the strike zone at the knees, and the count goes to 0-1. Roberge so far today, well, he's 1 for 3. Picked up an RBI single back in the 4th and scored a run. The 0-1 offering into him. Fastball up and above the zone and evens up the count, 1 apiece. And I'll tell you what, man, it all started happening around the 4th inning of this game, but the post dugout just woke up from its slumber and really started screaming at opposing pitchers, and I think it's actually done somewhat of a good job in rattling the opposing starting arms, or just arms, I should say. I'm interested to see if Jedediah Trudeau can slow it down here now in his second inning of work, but this post bench is pretty unrelenting. It's even getting under some of the umpire's skin, as we've seen earlier. 2-1. High chopper down the first baseline. Peralta fields on a hop, flits to his pitcher covering. That's out number 1 here in the 8th. Roberge moves to 1 for 4 on the day. The job gets a little bit tougher for the Eagles as it goes over to Eric Perez. Perez, despite 1 for 3 at the plate, which is still a good day, he really should be 2 for 3. Was robbed of a base hit by David Knepper. It was a tremendous play in the 6th. Otherwise, he has a double and 2 RBIs on his ledger. Takes ball 1 upstairs. Count moves to 1-0. Perez, the junior out of Los Angeles, transferred over from El Camino Community College. Skies one in the air, shallow left center field, ranging back to shortstop Knepper, but it'll be the center fielder, Eric Diaz, who comes in and makes the catch, and just like that, the Eagles are down to their final out in this ball game. It'll be up to Ben Major, trying to keep this game alive for Post University. He's 0 for 1 so far today. I haven't really gotten a chance to talk too much about him because he flew out on the first pitch he saw. First offering into him. High ground ball to the shortstop, and this should end the game. Knepper fields, fires to first in time, and that is the ball game. Dominican comes into Waterbury, Connecticut, and sweeps both games of the doubleheader, Game 2, by a score of 8-6. overall in this game. What a fun battle this was between these two heated division foes, and the series isn't over yet. We still got 2 more games between these two squads over on Dominican's campus. And 2 coaches now meeting and actually not having a handshake between the 2 coaches. Ray Skold throwing the bat away as the opposing head coach, 35-year vet Rick Giannetti, trying to shake his hand, and Ray Skold kind of showing him up towards the end of this game. Boy, some bad blood between these 2 teams as this one comes to a close. Now Giannetti and Skold having a conversation. Skold does not look happy out at home plate, but boy, some not fun stuff between these 2 coaches. And hey, this was an intense game, and it left a bad feeling in the mouth of some post-university fans and players alike. But overall, in this one, a very fun one. Dominican gets the sweep. 8 runs on 13 hits. No errors for the Chargers today. 6 runs on 8 hits and 1 error for the Eagles. Jedediah Trudeau picks up the win. Meanwhile, Logan Pulitano gets the loss for the Eagles. Eagles have 2 more games against Dominican and then 2 more games in conference matchup next week. Meanwhile, Dominican, they have obviously these 2 more games against Post and then 2 more out of conference next week. So it's still up for grabs in terms of the conference standings, but this really did a good job for the Chargers today in solidifying them getting home field advantage in the first round of the tournament. Well, for our entire student production crew here in Waterbury, we say thank you so much for joining us. Once again, it's the Chargers 8 and the Eagles 6.